What's up, everybody? This is Ryan from Kustoms. I want to talk to you about some of the paint jobs that we've just finished up. One in particular was a 2010 Softail for a cat named Rocky. Rocky was another one of our really cool customers who allowed me to kind of do whatever I wanted to do. His request was blues and metal flake, and then we talked about doing a few other things, but specifically he wanted a 70s influence paint job. And for me, nothing says the 70s and paint jobs better than one of my biggest heroes, Yosemite Sam Radoff. He did multi-layers and colors and so much stuff. It was almost hard to figure out what he was thinking when he was doing it, but the overall look of the motorcycles that he painted was just jaw-dropping. You looked at his paint jobs and you didn't know where he started or where he stopped. So I talked with Rocky and he was cool with all that. And that was some of the influences that I had when I was doing this bike, because I knew he wanted an oriental blue, and I faded a little cobalt to the side to give the sheet metal a little bit of a depth. And of course, metal flake. There's a 70s paint job without metal flake is it's just wrong, man. It's just against the laws of reality. It's just not right. We did a metal flake base, and this was a mixed base. This had crushed mirror and some crushed glass and different sizes of flake. I think 008 and 015 flake. So this thing, just silver base, just danced. I remember right when it was done, when the flake was done, it was cleared, and I was waiting for that to dry and color sand that so I can go on to the graphics. I remember leaving the shop. I turned the lights off, and I always look behind me just to make sure that nothing's left on. And all I saw out of the corner of my eyes was a tank and two fenders just glistening at me in pitch black. It was crazy. But anyway, we did the cobalt blue candy on it, and we did some red variegated leaf. I took care of the edges on this. A lot of times with the thick metal flake candy paint jobs, the edges get beat up. So on this particular one, I did a solid color on the edge, so it was easy to fix. If Rocky wanted it fixed one day, it wasn't a bear to fix. Little things I like to take into consideration on paint jobs. Then we did a blue to purple fade on it, and then cleared all that with all the leafing. And then I got the wild hair that said, you know, it's not done yet. It doesn't have that weird Yosemite Sam layering effect. So then I started layering some more pearls on there that pop up and disappear at different angles. Little touches like that, I like that. That's something else that Sam used to do. He did a lot of weird stuff that if you were there in his presence while he was doing it, it would definitely make you think, what the hell is this guy doing? But once it was all done and assembled and put together, the dude was a genius. Same with another influence for this bike is OG Doc, a lowrider painter back in the day, and man, his overlays were just wacky. One of the things when I got to this point on the bike, I loved it. I really did. However, most if not all graphic paint jobs should be pinstriped. And that basically gives you twice the paint job, sometimes 3 times the paint job, because now you're adding these minimal lines of different colors. It really makes the paint job pop. And this is, I used a red enamel so that I could do the red variegated leaf. The reason why I used red is, number one, I could see it. Gold leaf sizing is clear. It's kind of an old T look, but it's very difficult to see where you went and where you need to go. So I use a red enamel, plus it blends in with the red variegated leaf.
It doesn't matter. I flat out don't have the patience for this. It doesn't matter. It'll never happen. It looks boring. I watch you do it. I get irritated. I can't see that small anymore. It doesn't matter. It's over. I'm blind like you now.
Line after line after line. This is the finger trick. I like to use the finger trick more than the brush because it burnishes the leaf in better. Plus, all the little scraps get underneath my fingers, so if there was an edge that didn't quite adhere right, I'm using leaf basically to push in more leaf. Any of the spots that got missed or for whatever reason didn't adhere. Leaf is one of those things. It's a whole nother animal. And the idea of getting perfect leaf every time is, it's kind of like that fabled creature, the unicorn. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That's the stuff you don't recognize right off the bat. But when you start layering like Yosemite Sam did, it's just like that tractor beam effect. When you see it from across the parking lot, like, ooh, what is that? I gotta go walk over there. There's nothing more disappointing than to walk over to a car or motorcycle that caught your eye from across the parking lot. But when you get there, there's nothing else. What you saw from across the parking lot is exactly what you're seeing 2 feet away from it. So I like to add stuff that no one would have seen across the parking lot. Gives them something that paid off for them, I hope. All the chrome tail draggers, It's a bike like that that will turn anyone. I don't care who you are, what your style is. This may not even be your type of bike, but it'll turn you into an instant rock star whether you like it or not. I know Rocky has not put gas in that bike once without having a crowd around it. And believe it or not, this actually isn't the most time-consuming part of the paint jobs. The body work and all the sanding in between all the clear sessions, man, an awful lot of those. But this style of graphic, kind of like box ribbons, it allows me to go in any direction I want to. If I want to change directions, if I want to adapt a different shape or confine the graphics to a specific shape, I can do that and basically get away with whatever I want. As a whole, it was actually a really sharp bike. I mean, all the chrome and all the stuff that he had Shannon do, beautiful stitching on the seat. It was just a sharp ass bike. I'd ride it all day long. It's one of my favorite paint jobs to date. It was a little kooky, but not too kooky. It stayed within the blues, purples that Rocky liked, and I was very proud of this one.
Hey, it's Shannon Aikau, and we'll be talking about some bikes that we had put together in the past. So check them out. Oh yeah, that Softail. Just making sure everything works before you put it all back together. Custom Dynamics got all their full light kit on this one. Yeah, so you can really see the road. Halos on the spotlights. Yeah, so it was a Fat Boy, so it's going back full air ride, front and rear, with the fast up. The rear is Legends, which is all self-contained, and the front is from Scully's Customs. So 20 seconds and you ride it. And then the front has got these American suspension pucks that go inside here in the tubes, the fork tubes. And here's your sneaky peek. So even though this thing's not mounted, it's perfect. Like, it can't come out. It's pretty much wedged in here. There's no pressure on the line. Everything's all grommeted. And this goes nice and like that. It's like it's meant to be. Looking good with them apes and big spoke wheels. Getting there, shining her up a little bit before I put more things on it. Yeah, so it's basically your factory Softail that's getting full air ride, custom paint job, custom rims. Yeah, trying to fit that exhaust pipe in there was fun. I can't forget the Counts Customs cover. True Duals, Legends, rear, pucks that go in those legs. Seat pan time. Normally you make the seat pan before the bike is painted, but since I had a lot of practice, yeah, this is like the full wedding topper right here. See, seats are very important. That can make or break a bike. All slimmed down and trim, not no big couch that's on there. Yeah, it's pretty. Checking it out. Yep, diamond pleated, blue to match the blue. Yeah, it's coming together nice. Yeah, the dash panel, I didn't know if it was gonna work. Well, I think it works. Oh yeah, look at her outside. There you go. It's all proper now. Beauty. Yeah, I think the customer's happy. Those are aftermarket stock gas tanks. I think those are Clockworks fenders. And that's a pretty decent rake to it when you're riding it. It's nice. Haul bikes, taking her to the owner, saying goodbye. Love that bike. We can make one for you. Mobil 1. Alright. Yeah, so I mean, when we built this bike, I don't know, we like building things that you can ride versus just looking at it and thinking you can ride it. So you can actually ride. Sugar Bear, gotta have that. Yeah, it's my nice chair there. Ryan in a paint job. Pegasus is bling bling. Look at that, doesn't it look like it's neon? I don't know, Ryan getting crazy with the pinstripe. Oil dripping. Well, kinda. You don't want to see that underneath the bike. So yeah, this was a full custom build from the ground up. Custom fender, just molded to the struts. Oh yeah, everything fitting nice. S&S motor, blacked out. 6-speed transmission, open belt, RC wheels, PM controls, full custom seat. I think Vance and Hines short shot exhaust. Seeing the light for the first time. There you go. Check it out. Hopefully she's on display again at SEMA, Mobil 1 booth. We'll see. They've always got some new things going on, so. And that's Stu taking it away. Sweet.
Oh, heartbreak. So there was an incident with the Mobil 1 bike in shipping, and it was an accident. But nonetheless, the bike was heavily damaged. It was better to just replace the tank and replace the rear fender and start all over again, as opposed to trying to straighten stuff out. Because the way the bike was damaged, it was hard, if not impossible, to tell, because it was a custom bike, to make sure everything fit correctly. So it was just best if it was tweaked a 13th of an or 16th of an inch this way or the other way. It's just best to start all over again and take all the guesswork out of it. So that's what we did. We started all over again. That bike was significant to me. Number one, I'm a Mobil 1 fan. Just the culture of the Mobil 1, the Pegasus and the road signs and the old gas station signs speaks to the car guy, you know? But in particular, this bike speaks to me because it was a little bit of Texas. I grew up in Texas. And in particular was their Pegasus sign in that red neon. I've done neon a couple hundred times in the past, 30 some odd years of doing this, but not quite like this. What I wanted was for it to look just like that damn sign. I did a lot of back and forth. That's not what I want. It's still not doing what I wanted to do. I wanted this to glow. And there's a lot of variations with neons in art, and it's usually blues or pinks or teals or what have you. I wanted that red with a little bit of an orange glow in the middle that just knocked your head off. But I really wanted, in the first version, that when it was out of the sun, it looked like a good bike. It was cool. It had all its things that it was supposed to have. But when you got it into the sun, it's like someone flipped a switch and that neon just was turned on. And the first time, it was, like I said, a back and forth. The second time, again, it was a little bit of a back and forth because it's just getting that right magic and that right moment and that right time to get it to do the same thing, if not better. And I think the second time came out just a little bit better, And knowing the Mobil 1 franchise and the people a little better after we did it the first time. So on the top of the tank that I did do on the first version, I did some pearl white fanning, and they were very happy with it. And I got to feed the inner artist and create something different, even though I was actually doing it again. But that's life, it's life for Kustoms. As far as a brand bike, I would have to say this is definitely one of my top 3 branded bikes that I've ever done. Sugar Bear, you can't go wrong, it's Sugar Bear. This was that rare occasion where second time around, yes, I still had to make it look like it was, and like nothing ever happened, but at the same time, there's that little bit of wiggle room that allowed me to do the things that didn't allow me to do it the first time, and the second time around, I said, you know what, screw it, we're gonna play. That bike is so cool.